Okay, I'm going to try to fit all this in one piece here. That way we don't have the three parts that Chris and Scott did. This is my response for the Wrestling Awards that they handed out this past week. By the way, first and foremost, I know it's a day early, but Happy New Year's Eve to everybody that gets to see this. I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year. So let's get started. All right. First award that got handed out was for Diva of the Year. Beth Phoenix was a unanimous vote. I don't see anything wrong with that picture. She's been on a tear this year. Women's champion. This gets more and more entertaining the more and more you see her. The current thing she's with Santino Marella right now that is doing, I think, a lot more for her than it is for him. So I'm going to go with Beth Phoenix. I like that. And that's where we'll send that one to, is Beth Phoenix for Diva of the Year. Most annoying superstar. Chris said JBL. Scott said Jack Swagger. That's a tough one because I can see cases for both of those. JBL has been an absolute ass all year. Scott said Jack Swagger. I gotta go with Jack Swagger for the simple premise. I gotta agree with Scott. I don't like the fact that his eyes don't open all the way. And the fact that we're both from Oklahoma, myself and Jack Swagger. Come on, WWE, you gotta do something better than this. Hire me. Hire the Heartthrob. I've been wrestling 8 years. Come on. My eyes open all the way. See? Okay. Yeah, Jack Swagger. You know, he's an ass. He's arrogant. He's cocky. He is an annoying little bastard. So I gotta go with Scott and say Jack Swagger for most annoying superstar of the year. Tag team of the year. Miz and Morrison. I hate to agree with that. I really do, because you got so many other tag teams in the WWE right now that are making their case for that same award. You had, before he got hurt, you had Evan Bourne and Rey Mysterio. They made a big case for that. You have Crime Time. Haven't seen as much this year of them as maybe we'd like to. Be that as it is. Over on SmackDown, you got Primo, Carlito, and Colon. You got the brothers there. If I could see more of them, I'd like to see more of Carlito and Primo. I think maybe a match with them and Miz and Morrison would be something to see. But right now, yeah, I'll go with Miz and Morrison. Rookie of the Year, Evan Bourne. Can't go wrong with that. Braden Walker, you can't. Chris Harris, just let the poor guy live, alright? I spoke with Chris a few weeks ago, and, he was so miserable up there that, the best thing that could have happened to him was him getting his release from up there. So, but Rookie of the Year, you had Kofi Kingston break out this year. You had, you had Ricky Ortiz. Just a number of guys that broke out this year that made their big name on the scene. But probably the highlight of them all, got to go with Evan Bourne for Rookie of the Year. Okay, most disappointing moment of the year. Chris, you said the February suspension of Jeff Hardy, where he got his 60-day substance abuse suspension. Scott went with the handling and subsequent release of Mike Adamle. I think their biggest mistake was hiring Mike Adamle in the first place. I think that was evident at the Royal Rumble back in January when he referred to Jeff Hardy as the infamous Jeff Harvey, referring to Taz as the Taz. Just one mistake after another for Mike Adamle. Just, they should have saw the signs a little bit sooner. I think maybe they just kind of kept him around to kind of make fun of him, which obviously worked because everybody did week after week. But yeah, I got to go with the suspension because everything crumbled around Jeff Hardy at that point in time. You had the suspension, you had his fire, everything just shattered around Jeff's life earlier this year. But he made a great comeback. He's WWE champion now, and he now joins Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle, just to name a few, in the infamous Grand Slam Club, of having won the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, European Championship, Tag Team Championships, So congrats to Jeff Hardy on that. I don't know why I just started to say John Cena. It's been a long day. Yeah, Jeff Hardy for most disappointing. Heel of the year, Edge or Randy Orton. Chris, you went with Edge. Scott, you went with Randy Orton. No, neither one. Edge hasn't been around long enough this year to really make that much of a difference. Randy Orton is actually getting more and more over with the crowd each week than he is getting the heels, getting the heel status. So, if we're going for heel of the year, you got to go with, I would say, Chris Jericho, because how do you get away with knocking somebody's wife out? You know, I've been wrestling 8 years and I've not knocked out anybody's wife yet. Not that I go around trying, but that's for what it is. I'm going to go ahead and give the heel of the year to Chris Jericho. Face of the year, Jeff Hardy or Shawn Michaels. Chris went with Jeff Hardy. Scott went Shawn Michaels. You could go either way with that. Got to go with Shawn Michaels because everything that's going on with him right now, with this whole thing with JBL, everything, the crowd is getting more and more behind him every week. So yeah, I'll go with HBK. Rivalry of the year, HBK and Jericho. Can't go wrong with that. Just again, you go back to SummerSlam, Jericho knocking out HBK's wife Rebecca, and everything that followed that. And plus, those two have this isn't their first dance. In WrestleMania, I believe it was 19 up in Seattle, up to Safeco Fieldhouse. They had a great match there that year, and you know, just SummerSlam was no different. That whole rivalry is no different. Match of the year, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. I refuse under any circumstances to put any match above this one because it's Shawn Michaels. It's Mr. WrestleMania. He is everything he says he is. Ric Flair, that name alone. Ric Flair could wrestle a stop sign and it could be match of the year. That's the way it is. So yeah, Michaels, Flair for WrestleMania 24, match of the year, definitely. Best wrestler of the year, Ric Flair, John Morrison. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go with Jericho on this one again. He's been there. He's done it this year. Jericho has made the big transition, and he's been there to put the pieces together, you know, in every match. So I'll go with Jericho on this one. And pay-per-view song of the year, I'm gonna go with the John Cena tribute from the Royal Rumble. Me and my fiance Heather were sitting down watching the Royal Rumble back in January. About 10 seconds or so before his music hit, everybody was wondering who the big number 30 was going to be this year. And she leans over and she goes, "Wouldn't it be some crap if it was John Cena?" The only time I've ever kicked a woman off the bed. Happy New Year, everybody. That's my predictions. That's my award nominees and handouts for the Wrestling of the Year. So, enjoy. Peace.